Hi everyone, welcome to part 18 in the series of the team associated sc10 short course truck. In this video we're going to be putting in the battery tray and the receiver and hooking up the wires. Now before I go ahead, one little tip that I've gone ahead and done it already, but one of the things that I do, especially with carbon fibre, is being put in an off-road situation, you'll come across, like, depending on the track that you run at, or even if you're bashing, sometimes you can come across a lot of moisture. Now I know over in the States, you guys usually run your short course trucks on a lot of clay surfaces, but especially like at my club, because we don't just run 1/10 electrics, but we also run, your 1/8 scale truggies and buggies and monster trucks. Well, monster trucks aren't such a big class anymore, but I mean those are some of the classes we run. So the track does get watered down, especially like at the moment now it's the summer months. So one of the things with the battery tray here, it's carbon fibre. One of the things that you do is you get some thin CA glue, and along the edges there you run thin CA along the edges, and especially like on the insides here. What that does is it seals the carbon fibre, because carbon fibre is porous. The glue helps seal it, and the reason being is that carbon fibre is woven and it's done in layers, and what can happen is moisture can get in and the carbon fibre layers can delaminate, and I don't know how much it would cost to replace this, but I know on some of my other models I've had to replace carbon fibre top deck on one of my touring cars, because it broke from a big crash and it was about $80. Now I don't know how much this would cost to replace, but I'm guessing it would be kind of expensive. So that's a little tip for you guys. I recommend that you do that in the build, is put some CA glue, thin CA glue. Well, I mean, you can probably use a little thicker glue, but I just use a little thin CA just to seal the edges. Now, one of the other things we're doing is the receiver. Now, usually what you'll do is you'll put double-sided tape and you'll put your receiver in and so forth. But I have a fair few RC models, and as you can see on the underneath here, I have Velcro. Now the reason being is I have quite a few RC models. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to think of, but I only have 4 receivers. So the Velcro for me is just so I can, if I'm going to race another one of my cars, I can just pull the receiver out, and it just makes it a lot easier. Now, one of the other things you'll need is obviously the bottom part of the Velcro, which is this. So what I'll do first is I'll put that on there. Then to install your receiver, just move the wires out of the way, they can get in the way there. On this, the antenna will come out through here, but the thing is you have to put it through the little hole. You probably can't see the hole, but there's like a little hole there. So you have a hole, you put it through like so, and you'll see that it actually comes out the bottom of the chassis. So then what you have to do is very carefully get it and feed it back through like so, so it will come out through there. Now, be careful when you do this sort of thing, because you can break the wire. You do not want that to happen. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll just quickly get the antenna tube because I accidentally dropped it. Now, as you can see, this is a really big antenna tube, so we don't need all of that, so we're only going to need about up to about there. Now, to be on the safe side, folks, cut it above where the antenna stops, so that way you don't accidentally cut the antenna when you go to put it in. Not only that, it protects the antenna from getting any damage. So we'll put that on there. Now we'll just remove the double-sided part because this Velcro is sticky, and there you have it. So there is the receiver put in. Now we'll connect the wires. Now, for those who have never built a kit before, or can't remember when you replace a servo or something, there's a simple formula to remember what wire connects into what section. Now, in this case, I'm using a Sanwa/Airtronics receiver, and it has ST for steering, TH for throttle, auxiliary, brake, battery. So obviously you know which one will go in. But a lot of receivers, they'll just have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 if it's if you've got a few extra channels on your radio. So generally with the numbers, remember this little formula: channel 1 to turn, channel 2 to burn. That's just a simple little formula to remember. So channel 1 is to turn, so we'll get channel 1, which is our steering servo, put it in, and channel 2 to burn, so that is for our ESC. And there you have it, folks. That's that put in. Now the next part of the build is for the radio tray. So now while it is fresh in my mind, I forgot to point out that you need it comes with a little grub screw or set screw. The whole idea of it is for the antenna tube. You put it in there, and as you screw it in, it just tightens it up there so that won't come out. Okay, next part, well, I'm going to need that again, aren't I? Okay, the next part is for, okay, so I'm not going to need that one. I'm going to need the little trusty Dubro one. So, next part is to screw in the battery clips. Now this is going to be awkward. Repeat on this side. Okay. Same thing again, because what will happen is it'll reach the top. Trying to cross thread it like I just did. And then once it reaches the top, it can't go any further, so then it'll just start screwing itself down into the chassis. Alrighty. Now the next part, what we have here too is the battery foam. I'll get to that in a second. So now we'll just put that, make sure these line up nicely. Alrighty. Now you have a big block here of battery foam. The whole idea is so you can adjust the ballast of the weight of the battery, which is going to help act as ballast. So what we will do, it's not exactly an easy thing to put on. Okay, so for the time being, what we will do, where did I put my hobby knife? There it is. What we'll do is we'll cut this evenly in half. When I say evenly, I mean my evenly, which is all over the place. Now the whole idea is you can either have it all the way up the front, like this, or you can have it all the way up the back, like so, or you could have one at one end and one at the other, and your battery goes in the middle. So basically it's just so you can help just give you a tuning ability, so you can either have more weight at the back, more weight at the front, or weight in the middle. So at the moment we'll just leave it in the middle like that. Put the little tray in. Alrighty folks, so that's that section of the build. It's pretty much straightforward. So really all that's left to do is glue the tyres. So stay tuned for part 19 and then we'll get on with that. So see you then.